Yes, you're right. It was a late night at Dwayne Banks when Iowa's midweek game against Milwaukee went into extra innings. It took 12 of them for Iowa to secure the 5-4 victory over the Panthers. It was back and forth until the 11th, where Austin Martin delivered an RBI to tie it up at 4 runs apiece, and then Justin Jenkins secured the victory with a walk-off home run in the 12th.
Yeah, off the bat, a no-doubter. It's the first time I've ever hit a ball like that, especially in Division I baseball. Like I said, it's an unbelievable feeling, and when you know, you just react, and it was an awesome feeling.
Well, I mean, that just a great play. It was really a great game to watch. I mean, as a fan, I'm sure, and you know, Justin makes a big throw, perfect throw, throws the guy out at the plate, and then comes up and wins the game with a solo home run. And I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, Banks magic, baby. You know how it works. But when we go to Ohio State, we know we got a good conference series this weekend, and we're gonna dial it up these next couple days in practice, and we're gonna come at them hot.
As Brendan Scher hinted at, the Hawks will hit the road this weekend to face Ohio State. And yesterday, we heard from Iowa football coordinators for the first time this season. Looking at the defense next season, defensive coordinator Phil Parker still doesn't know who the starters will be, and he's not planning on deciding for a while.
The Friday before first game. Okay. That's when I like to have him. Yeah. No. But no, I think we got a bunch of guys that have the chance, and they got the leadership that I think Seth does a really good job with those guys, and they're all know what's going on, and it's going to be, I think it's going to take time. It might be, halfway through 2 days, or not even 2 days now, just fall practice,
And for the offense, they are on the right track, but the players we'll see on the field in September is still a question mark.
Whatever we have to do over the next 2 months to get to that point where we can head into camp and feel like we're ready to continue that competition. We got one guy join us in the summer, so right now it's all things are trending the way we want them, but I know we're a long ways away from doing anything that matters.
But while at the press conference, Ferentz was asked about recruiting the right type of players for Iowa, and he had some pretty good life advice to share.
If you got to do all that convincing, it's probably not a great fit at the end of the day. It's kind of like getting married. Although that's probably not a good analogy. I had to do a lot of convincing on that one too. But it's worked out thus far. Trapped her.
You got to love the analogy there. Good thing that TJ Hawkinson was the right type of player for Iowa's system, because he came out of high school with only 2 offers. And now he's hoping to hear his name called tomorrow for the first round of the NFL draft. Hawkinson was one of 4 Hawkeyes to leave early, and it was a tough decision for him. But for Hawkinson, his decision came down to a love for the game.
Going into the NFL, I think some guys, look at the money aspect. Don't get me wrong. You're playing football for a living. That's, what's a better job than that? But on the same hand, you're playing football, and you're playing the best game on earth. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot. You can only play this game so much, and then I want to push myself. I want to go to the next level, and I want to see what I can do.
But before Hawkinson can see what he can do on the field, he's got to hear his name on draft night. Hawkinson is projected a high-round draft pick, and he's choosing to ignore the draft boards and hype around him before the big day.
It's flattering, obviously. Don't get me wrong, but at the same hand, no one knows. No one has a clue. You could fall very easily. No one knows what's going to happen on that day. I don't think the teams even know what's going to happen until that day. So it's just, like I say, you got to take it day by day. You got to take it week by week, but you can't be looking at that thinking, you gotta. You still got to go to work. You still got to do the stuff. And I don't get on very much social media just because of that you can't let that.
I'm sure Hawkinson will get back on social media after the draft tomorrow night, and then he'll be ready to get back on the field playing football again.
I'm getting ready for rookie minicamp, so I gotta be there. I gotta come in ready to go. I'm gonna do my best to dive into the playbook, learn everything I can, and get acclimated to that organization. So I'm super excited for it.
Hawkinson is listed as the top tight end in the draft, and we expect to hear his name called within the first 15 picks. Hawkinson is a strong blocker, he's athletic, and should be an instant starter when September rolls around. But that'll wrap up things from me in the sports studio. Come back tomorrow for a special preview of the men's Big Ten tennis tournament. Back to you guys at the desk.